FSF PopCast live show. Holy cow, the button worked. All right, welcome to this live show, kids and cadets. This is another FSF PopCast happy hour, and we are happy to have you. There's the dad joke to start us off.
That's the first many, I'm sure.
Oh, well, you know, it's been a little bit, plus it's happy hour.
Obviously your jokes are just going to become apparent anyway.
Bingo. Oh, see, I love it when you get me. Oh. Hey, Jesse. Yo. Jesse from Crusher Convo Podcast. If you're looking for an amazing Star Trek podcast that does some deep dives but doesn't leave you in the dust, go check out Crusher Convo. It does a really cool job at talking about Trek, especially through the lens that is Beverly Crusher. So yeah, check them out. We're big fans of their awesomeness. Tim's too no, I'm not. No,
his jokes are just grander than the rest.
I am a grandfather. Yes, I am a grandpa. We're so proud of you too, Jesse. She actually made it to a live. We are proud of you. But yeah, so as you see in the title there at screen, this is a happy hour. And tonight's happy hour is brought to you by Crown Royal. Open for sponsorship. But anyway, this is Crown Royal Blackberry. I'm a huge Blackberry fan, and we just discovered this. And Crown Royal Blackberry, check that out. It is delightful. This is actually our second bottle of that we had to have bought because we have drank the other one. It is bye-bye. It is no longer. It is part of the nethers.
It's gone to the ether.
It has.
Different kind of anything.
But yeah, so this is a whiskey, so it's not like a brandy where it's going to be overly sweet. It definitely does not taste like cough syrup, and it's a problem. I have to be cautious. It is a problem in a bottle. So I don't know if you notice, but we like it. Anyway, all right, so
I don't know if you noticed, but he's a bit of a lush.
Just say I really like you, nerds. I'm here instead of watching Skeleton Crew. Actually, John, it's 6 p.m. Pacific time. I checked on Disney Plus because at 6 o'clock I was on Disney Plus trying to watch the first episode of Skeleton Crew because it's like 40 minutes long, and I'm like, I can squeeze that in before the live show. But yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about Skeleton Crew here in a little bit.
Way past our bedtime. Sorry, John. We'll have to watch it tomorrow.
At 9 o'clock, all life will cease. Is he saying words out there?
I don't know if he was talking to me or the kid, but all I heard was a no.
Time zone lawyered. Let's see. Jesse says, I'm not drinking at the moment. Am I going to get kicked out? I got water. Does that count? Water absolutely counts. Any type of refreshment. Anything that makes you happy. This is a happy hour. We are not gatekeepers, and we don't gatekeep even on happy hour for the drink that you choose. Drink what you drink, love what you love.
Mine, and it was the very last of the bottle, which makes me really sad, is the Cherry Republic Cherry Moscato.
It does sound good.
Delightful. Yeah, it is absolutely delightful. But I have not found a thing at Cherry Republic that I don't like.
Fair. I think this is like the second or third one you've told me about that you were a big fan of. So that makes sense.
They have also sponsorships. But so they have two different coffees that I really like. They have the chocolate cherry boom, which is what I had last happy hour with the cherry liqueur in it.
Okay.
And then the other one that I just got is cherry vanilla, which is like almost amaretto. Like the coffee tastes like amaretto.
So can you so I'm always skittish when it comes to things that are vanilla flavored. Can you really taste the vanilla, or is it truthfully
it's more aromatic than anything else.
Okay. All right.
It's even one that Honora said smelled good.
Oh.
Yay!
Well, Jesse, that is the best reason ever, and congrats to your husband. Very proud of him. That's an amazing accomplishment. One day is amazing. 5 months is fantastic. So keep up the good work, my friend. Keep up the good work. So yeah. But hey, before we get into too much else, we do have to pay honor and tribute. Speaking of sponsorships and people that help us, we need to say thank you to the people who help us get this show out to you each and every week. That, of course, is TCT, where fandom meets fashion, with some great nerd merch. We have a link for them in our show notes down below. Level Up Savers, because, well, you know.
Right. Sorry, I'm thinking I'm going to have to get out my Youngling Slayer 3000 if that one can't keep the door shut.
Yeah, Level Up Sabers, the only thing guaranteed to be better than a stick. And yeah, of course, Eddie AI, they help us do all of our shorts and our reels and all the fun stuffs. And yeah, really cool company to work with. And yeah, we, of course, for all these guys, we have links down below. And there just happens to be a brand new one. I mean, literally happened about 2 hours before the live show. We have a brand new show partner. We're excited to announce that we are partnering with Bone Coffee. Now, these guys do a lot of really cool coffees, a lot of pop culture, nerd-based coffees. They've got Fallout. They've got Star Wars. They've got SpongeBob SquarePants coffees.
What?
They've got, yeah, they do. They got a whole bunch of really cool stuff. And they have really cool coffee mugs to go along with it. So I'm hoping that we might get some of those cool Star Wars mugs, because when I say cool, I mean, oh my God, they're cool. But yeah, so anyway.
Ooh.
All right, let's see. Yeah, please do pass that on, because having people in my family who struggle with alcoholism, I know what that is like, and I know that is hard work, and I have some friends that are struggling with that as well, and working very hard day after day to keep going and stay sober. So yeah, amazing work. 5 months is nothing to be overlooked. Yeah, Kathleen, Timothy, one pride. One pride. That's right. Absolutely. Granger also says, watching the Twilight Zone Dealer's Choice full episode. Good times. Nice. Bones Coffee. Use the promo code FSF PopCast, or as she says, they say there, the FSF PopCast, to get 80% off your order. I don't know if adding the extra O is going to get you 70% more off your order, but you can try it. But if you do use the code FSF PopCast, you will get 10% off your order. So yeah,
not the FFS PopCats like my sign still says.
Yeah, the PopCats. I'm not sure the PopCats will work. I'm pretty sure PopCast won't work either, but it is. That does give me something to laugh about, so thank you.
It's appropriate for coffee too. That is the best way to make sure that you are not constipated.
We are the FFS PopCats now. No apologies required, Granger.
Wine in my nose.
You put wine in Kathleen's nose, so therefore it's a good night. Yeah, and it was no surprise that the Bears coach got fired.
Oh my gosh, that was so bad.
Yeah. I mean, Eberflus was a hot mess anyway going into this game. He was already on the hot seat, and he flushed his job down the drain with the way that he managed that last minute of the game. So here's the thing, though. So looking at this from a Detroit Lions perspective, and we'll get into some pop culture stuff here in just a couple minutes. But looking at this from the Detroit Lions fan aspect, there's a good chance that we're going to lose our defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, at the end of the season. He is, one of the top winning defensive coordinators out there. He's got his name is being attached to a lot of different jobs, as it has been for the last couple of years, and rightfully so. Aaron Glenn has been a stellar defensive coordinator. However, so if he leaves, that opens up, we will have a need. Now, Eberflus is a craptastic head coach, but he's a phenomenal defensive coordinator. If you look up his runs over the last couple years, before he became the coach of the Bears, you look at his track record, his defense has performed phenomenally. And so to put him on the Lions, where you've got a healthy Aiden Hutchinson, and you've got some of these other players, it might be a lot of fun. Just saying. But yeah, a Lions got a Bears coach fired. Yeah, it was full belly of turkey, a full with the win, and full with the knowledge that we got one of our all-time rivals head coach fired. So yeah, it's a good day. Yeah, he absolutely he got fired, Jesse. It was horrible.
It was so bad. Just stood
they
there
could even
staring at it with
without
that timeout left.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if they hadn't gotten the win, he should have at least gotten the game just sent to overtime.
Right.
But it was so horribly mismanaged. My husband's gonna laugh so hard. He's a Packers fan, and as rightfully he should. I'm not sure
on
if he's
that
gonna
note,
laugh
though,
himself as being a Packers fan or
on that note,
just kidding.
Of being a Packers fan, I mean, to each their own. I'm not gonna poo-poo on somebody else's like. However, the fact that the Lions fans at the Lions-Packers game wore cheese graters on their heads.
That was fantastic,
yeah. Really dang happy.
Kathleen, your daughter says, I love mom.
I love you, big girl.
I heart mom.
I love you.
Mom.
She is. She's like a seagull. The seagulls from Finding Nemo. 9.
Right? Yes. And then there's what happened between U of M and OSU. Now, here's the thing. That wasn't the only flag planting fight over the weekend. Arizona State, North Carolina State, Florida State. All these big rivalry teams, one guy plants the flag, and then the next thing you know, it's all WWEF, on the middle of the field.
It was more of a fight than Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. So
yeah, punches actually were.
So is John trying to get me out of bed in the morning. So I mean.
So there's definitely that. Jesse from Crusher Combo says my boss is a huge Lions fan. We were watching it and hoping the Lions won because we don't care about the Bears. And in the game, we were like, what was that? Now I see why. Yeah, absolutely. My Finns blew it against the Packers. Yeah, but the Dolphins, that's a rough environment for a warm weather team to go into in Green Bay. Yeah. So that's a rough environment for somebody from Michigan to go into.
Gosh, the one time I was in Green Bay, it was like middle of July, and it went from being 85 to the next day it was 60 and torrential raining.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's gross.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And one last thing. This will be the last thing, and then we're going to jump into some nerdy topics here. Well, this is kind of nerdy too. And so I'm going to bring this up on the screen because you see Crusher Convo there, the Crusher Combo podcast. Like we said earlier, if you haven't already, go follow them. Big fans of Jesse's work there talking about the Treks. Now, I bring her back up because on January 18th of 2025, both Crusher Convo and the FSF PopCast are going to be brand ambassadors for Trek Talks. We are very happy, very proud to be representing Trek Talks. It's a streaming telethon. We'll have panels all day long, and it's all to benefit the Hollywood Food Coalition. This food coalition goes, and they're not feeding people like, rich people in Hollywood. They're taking this food, getting it out to people who really need it in a bunch of different areas, not just Hollywood. It's an amazing thing that's happening. Now, you might recognize the faces there on the screen. That is, of course, Bonnie Gordon and John Billingsley, both former guests of the FSF PopCast. So they are going to be the hosts of the show, and there'll be panels with Nana Visitor, Robert Picardo, Tim Russ. I'm trying to think of some of the other names off the top of my head. I do believe Frakes and Shimmerman will be there. Which makes me believe that if they're there, we'll have a Kitty Swink sighting, which we're always happy for a Kitty Swink sighting because Kitty is amazing. So those are just some of the things that you can look forward to. If you go to trektalks.net, which is the website listed there on the bottom of that image, go to trektalks.net. You will see everything that's going on with Trek Talks and who they've got coming, what's happening, who's going to be there, all that kind of stuff. Trek Talks last year raised a lot of money and did a lot of good for the Hollywood Food Coalition, which is a charity that is very near and dear to John Billingsley's heart.
Mhm.
And we're going to be having John come back on the show. We just got to hammer down the date with him to talk about Trek Talks 4. And we'll probably do, we're trying to get that to be in a live setting so that you guys can ask questions of him. And put that out there so you can ask the flocks.
And just so that you can enjoy the general chaos that he is.
John has just his madness is quite something to behold, and it's quite a lot of fun. That's the thing, really.
He's amazing.
Yeah, I adapt well to his level of crazy. It's a lot of fun. Jesse, we are so looking forward to Trek Talks, and we're glad that we get to be an ambassador right along with you. And we're very proud and honored to be part of this show in any way, shape, or form that we possibly can. And
the only problem I have with Jesse's comment is the holy cow, next year is only a month away.
It's next year is only a month away. When you stop and think about it, it becomes
still processing 2020.
Oh, you want to know what's scary about that? I'm going to take this image down off here just so the people can see the sadness in my face. So this afternoon, I'm at my father-in-law's. I'm helping him do something with his computer. And he wants me to take all of his pictures from his laptop and put them on an external hard drive. And I'm like, sure, I can do that. And he's like, well, I need to sort them out because I got a lot of screenshots of things I don't need. I just want to save a picture of family and friends. Okay, fair. I can do that. So that's my son, Nolan. Hi, Nolan. So,
Nolan's in trouble.
So I start doing this, and there are 37,000 pictures on his laptop. And I'm like, oh my God. So I went through like I went through like 6,000 or 8,000 pictures this afternoon. And then I hit this bridge of all these pictures from 2020 and all these screenshots of memes from 2020. And I was like, I'm sad. I need a hug. Can somebody please come hug the sad guy?
I would have hugged you if I was there.
Chris Chicago says Trek Talks absolutely represents the best of Star Trek, in my opinion. Fantastic take, Jesse. Absolutely correct. And sorry, Kathleen. She says sorry. LOL.
It's okay. It's just
mind blown. Yeah. It's just we're on 2020 part 4, I believe, at the moment. So
if we can completely blow minds for a minute.
Sure, why not? We're this far.
Next Friday, December 13th, mine and John's 10th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Been married for a decade.
So there's definitely that.
We have a 6-year-old with her first loose tooth.
Mama.
I'm not okay. And I didn't have enough wine.
All right. Well, hey, let's jump into some nerdy topics and see what you guys have to say about all of this fun. So, put this back up on the screen. This is the Marvel Studios release schedule for 2025. These are some of the things that we can look forward to. Now this is not a complete list. This is just the list of things that are coming to Marvel Studios, which are Disney releases. And John says, it's our 10th anniversary, depending on what happens at game night.
There's that. Don't kill
He's probably
the
not wrong. He's probably not wrong. Are you waiting to go by? My wife doesn't want to be on camera, so I'm going to stop the camera for a second.
I still love you, Shayna.
Kathleen says hi, that she loves you. She says, hey.
All
right, so Wilkie's Movies and Music. Hey, all. Howdy. Welcome to the live show in the madness. Glad to have you here. So, is there anything in this? We'll talk about the movies, the shows first, then we'll go talk about the movies because I forgot to put a slide about the movies in, and that's just the way it is. So, is there one of the shows in particular that you're looking forward to, or one you're not interested in? We can go either way.
I think Daredevil is the only one that I'm actually like super intrigued about. I still feel like, and I hate thinking this, I hate feeling this, but I am so contented out by Marvel still. They just...
Yeah, Phase 4 was rough.
Too much.
Phase 4 is a little rough. A lot of highs and a whole lot of lows.
I could go for more Loki and more Time Variance Authority, though, because that's fun. The TVA is fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Loki. And that's just such a solid show. Tom Hiddleston really drives it home. I think he carries it so well.
Honestly, if there's somehow a Loki Deadpool crossover in the TVA, I would not complain.
That would be a hoot between the two of them. The madness that would ensue from those. Oh my goodness!
If it was just Deadpool and Loki reading a phone book,
right?
I don't care.
Honestly, if you put Deadpool in any of these shows, it instantly becomes more entertaining.
Oh,
if we're being honest.
He's Marvel Jesus.
Exactly. Marvel Jesus. Let's see. Crusher Combo says, congrats, hubby and I have been married 8 years, known each other 21 years. Wow. Fantastic. Congrats, Jesse. John says he's interested in Daredevil. I agree. I'm also interested in Daredevil, but I'm also interested in Ironheart because of the character of Riri. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with her and her Iron Man builds and there's a lot of possibility with the Ironheart character. Mm-hmm. Eyes of Wakanda will be an animated series, so I'm kind of curious what they're going to do with that, because it looks like, to me, the Black Panther character is going to go back to being T'Challa, but that obviously won't be voiced by Chadwick. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. But it could be an interesting series. The only ones that on this list that I'm struggling with, I don't like anything zombies. I'm not and that probably comes from me not being a big horror fan. So watching something with zombies, I lose my interest pretty quickly. Like, I tried watching The Walking Dead because everybody's like, "Oh, you got to watch it. You got to watch it." I was like, zombies, and I really didn't care.
I mean, there's a reason to watch it, but
yeah,
his name is Carrie Payton.
Well, yeah, I just didn't care because it was.
I get that.
Zombies. I lost. You what?
Sorry, I said I'm wondering though. There is a zombie rom-com that you might actually enjoy.
Interesting.
Have you ever watched Warm Bodies?
Nope.
You might enjoy that one. It is very cheesy, very, very cheesy rom-com.
Yeah.
I cannot remember what the main characters. I can't remember who the main actors are. John Malkovich is in it.
Okay, well, see, that alone right there might be enough for me. I'm a huge Malkovich fan, so I just think he's a fantastic actor. Yes. Grandier says Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead. Tim and Kathleen, show of hands, who actually heard of the comic The Walking Dead before it became a TV series? I would say I'm pretty sure Kathleen had. Yep. It wouldn't have been on my radar, to be honest with you, just because of what it is. I probably wouldn't have. I may have seen it. I may have taken notice of it, but I definitely wouldn't have read it. I wouldn't have given it any attention because it's zombie based, and zombie things don't typically.
Yeah.
They don't typically stir my Kool-Aid.
Let's see. There's a few things in that anyway that, as a dad, I don't know if you would be, how comfortable you would be with it.
The only zombie movie that I have been entertained by was Zombieland with Jesse Eisenberg.
Mm-hmm. First one, second one, or both?
First one. I thought the first one was way better than the second one, but
yeah, for sure.
But I just the whole always double tap.
You sure you have Twinkies and always double tap? Makes sense to me.
Exactly. Yeah, there's just a lot
of
lot of silly
zombie Tom Hanks. Bill Murray. Zombie Bill Murray. Brain.
Oh, okay. I was like,
brain's gone.
I was like, was he in that movie? Did I miss something? Okay.
No, my brain frequently mixes up Bill Murray and Tom Hanks. I don't know why. It just happens.
Let's see. Grand Zero asks, Tim, do you not like zombies just because they don't do it for you, or the fear factor, or because zombies are sort of overused? 28 days later, I hate that zombies can run. It's just the whole premise, I think, for me is just maybe it's overused, maybe it's just kind of meh. I don't know. It just I've never found something other than the movie Zombieland where I was like, okay, I could watch this.
Mhm.
And I think it was because it had the humor aspect to it. And I was honestly sick as a dog when I watched it. And I think I was just like, there's nothing else to watch. I guess I'll watch this. So
Yeah. I
but
feel
yeah,
like that's the best way to watch it.
Honestly, I think that's probably the only reason why I watched it. And I'm glad I did because I honestly enjoyed the movie. I thought it was very, very funny. Plus, it had a little bit of dark humor, and I really enjoy dark humor. Like, really enjoy dark humor.
I think with me, with zombies, it's the zombies as a villain are meh. Like, I understand that there's the fear factor to it. That doesn't get me usually.
No, not typical.
But the emotional aspect of it, when through whatever zombie thing you're watching, when you realize that the zombies are not the villains, but the people are, and it's the human survival and what humans will do to survive and what they will do to each other to survive. That's when I'm more interested and more intrigued by Seven. Hello, handsome boy.
Seven.
He's the handsomest of the handsome boys. Oh, smooches. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He decided that my lap was where he needed to be.
Yeah. And he needs smoochies.
So, but yeah, so for me, it's just I've never really found other than Zombieland, the zombie movie. I was like, yeah, I think I should watch this, or this really gets my attention. And Zombieland 2, I was like, it was just kind of eh.
Did you try watching Last of Us?
Try watching what?
Last of Us?
No, but I want okay, so that was one I wanted to watch and I still haven't gotten to it. I keep going, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it. And then other things keep popping up. Yeah. Let's see. Grand Series asks, did Kathleen say what her top zombie movie is? Zombie movies, TV shows don't move the needle for Kathleen as well.
Okay, so zombie movie wise, I like Tim, I really like Zombieland. Zombieland is hilarious. Zombieland 2 is okay. It had its points.
Right. That's how I feel about it.
I'm not big into zombie stuff. But like Last of Us video game and TV show, absolutely love. Walking Dead, I did lose interest in after Negan took the baseball bat to Glenn's head. And again, that's the human aspect of it. The zombies don't bother me, but the humans are the issues for me. But then honestly, like the Warm Bodies movie might legitimately be my favorite zombie movie, and it is like the complete opposite of what you would expect for a zombie movie.
Okay.
However, Last of Us is like in my top 10 favorite TV shows.
Interesting.
They did so well with that. They did. I've only played the first game. I haven't played the second game, so I know a lot of people will be like, well, the second game was awful. There's a lot about the second game that I understand people didn't like story-wise, but also I get very borderline protective with the second game, even though I haven't played it. But Laura Bailey, the voice actress for one of the characters in the second game, got death threats from people, and they threatened her son because they didn't agree with what happened in the story. So I have issues with people who do stuff like that.
Ah, well, that makes sense, yeah.
Especially since her son is like 2 months older than my daughter. I did not watch Fear the Walking Dead. I tried it and thought it was dumb. I think I got 2 or 3 episodes into it.
Is that like a sequel or prequel to The Walking Dead? I don't know where this falls in.
It's a spin-off. So it's like I think it was the West Coast versus Walking Dead starts in Atlanta. I think this was starting in California.
Okay.
I think. But
Let's see. Crusher Combo says, I'm not a huge zombie fan. I feel like it got overused. Tried Walking Dead, but couldn't finish. But Shaun of the Dead is classic. I forgot about Shaun of the Dead. Yeah. I might have to go back and rewatch that one. It's been so long that I don't remember enough about Shaun of the Dead to go, yeah, I liked it. No, I didn't like it. It's honestly been ages since I saw that, but it's got Simon Pegg in it, so I'll sit down and watch it. Let's see. Grandeur says, I saw The Walking Dead till season 3, and then I could not handle The Walking Dead diehard fans who would attack anyone who was critical of the series.
See, I got that too, especially when it's but that's not how they did it in the comic. It doesn't matter. That's how they did it for this. If you don't like it, go read your comic again.
Well, people have to realize that there has to be some level of artistic license between a written work and a visual work. They are two different mediums, and something's going to happen between them. Crusher says, fandom drama. Gotta love it.
It's the worst. It's the worst. And I fear that so much with when Last of Us season 2 goes up. I know that people are going to rip into it with if they do it exactly like the game did, or if they don't. Either way is not going to be the right answer for people.
Yeah. John says, no story translates to another medium perfectly. There will always be changes. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. There has to be.
And even in that, with going back to Last of Us, even with that, there were people who were upset with the way that they changed the story and explored more characters and did the backstory with the episode with Nick Offerman. And people were like, but he's a character that you talk to for 5 minutes in the game. It's like, yeah, he is.
5
but
minutes.
Here's why he's the way he was.
Sometimes, the exposition on some of those smaller characters, for me anyway, as somebody on the outside looking in, I like stuff like that because it helps me understand their relevance to the game and why that character needed to be here or why that character needed to be input. So I like exposition on smaller characters. For me, it always kind of gets a little bit more information and makes, but I'm also that way with Star Wars. I like the exposition on smaller characters because it rounds out the story. It helps me understand the greater depth of the lore a little bit better because now I'm seeing that story through somebody else's eyes. And so for me, it's a really cool way to do it.
And I think too, that when you do finally watch Last of Us, when you get to the episode with Nick Offerman and you're going to realize, sure, it doesn't mean a lot to the story itself, but it gives so much more human background to what's going on.
Right.
And realizing how fast things changed. And especially with when Last of Us came out and having gone through a pandemic and realizing how overnight your life can switch. Watching that episode with Nick Offerman and his character's background story. And yeah, it's not vital to the storyline. It's not crucial to the story, but it means so much to the character development for both Joel and Ellie that it was worth it. And in all reality, might be one of the best episodes of TV ever made.
Let's see, there you go. That right there is enough. Makes sense. Let's see. Grandeur also says, I always got a kick out of Walking Dead. T-Dog, the character, and a lot of the diehard fans cried foul when he got killed. He barely had any lines. He was a major character with the smallest role.
Yeah. And I feel like with T-Dog, it was kind of the TV-wise, they took it as kind of the token black character, and it did not go super well.
He was the TBC. Got it. Okay.
He was. There's a couple other things. There's a couple other things in Walking Dead that I really struggled with. And it's more of a personal struggle, I guess. But I mean, since you're not going to watch it, and it's been out for 15 years almost at this point, I don't care about spoilers. But the one character, Carol, her daughter goes missing. And her daughter's 9 or 10. Yeah, 9 or 10-year-old goes missing in the middle of a zombie apocalypse walks away from the caravan group that they're with. They go looking for her for weeks. They're looking for this little girl. And they finally find a farm that they can stay at. They're thinking they're safe. Then they find out that the farmer has a barn full of walkers because he thinks that there's going to be a way to save them, that there's going to be a way to bring them back because his wife was one of them. And then you find out that Carol's daughter, Sophie, is in the barn with the walkers, and she's been dead for weeks.
Good times.
And is now a zombie that then they have to kill. And it's like,
barn episode. Gotta love Shane.
Okay, so
Carol
the guy who
had
plays
it rough.
Shane, Carol did have it rough. The guy who plays Shane is Punisher, right?
Oh, Jonathan Bernthal?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know he was in that series, but okay.
Yeah.
Barenthal, not Bernthal. Barenthal. So
Barenthal. He's Shane. He's a main character for the first few seasons.
Shane, Matt, Frank Castle. Yes. Let's see. I'm going to jump back here just a little bit.
He was sorry. The guy who was collecting the walkers. He was a vet. I think he was a vet.
Let's see. Where do we go on here? I missed a whole bunch of comments because we were talking about. We've been talking about the zombie stuff, and that's fine. I'm here for all the conversation, but I just want people's comments to get up on screen if at all possible. Crusher says, for what we're seeing on screen, honestly, not interested in any of these. Totally get it. Wonder Man, I have this much attachment to, so I'm kind of curious where that's going to go. Eyes of Wakanda, I am very interested in that because I love the Black Panther character. I'm interested in Daredevil, interested in Ironheart. Don't have a whole lot of interest in Marvel Zombies. One of the ones that's not listed on here is in January, we're going to get a new animated series called Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And so I am interested in that. That was not on this slide, but that's something that's going to be coming up and we'll want to pay attention to. There's also a couple of Marvel movies, just real quick to talk about. February 14th, we get Captain America Brave New World. That's the first one with Sam as Captain America now. May, we get the Thunderbolts, which has Harrison Ford in it, so you know I will be there. And Harrison Ford becomes Red Hulk. So choo-choo, let's get this train moving. I'm excited about that. And then also scheduled for release, but I'm hearing a lot of conflicting reports on as to how filming is going. Fantastic Four First Steps is scheduled to be released July 25th of 2025. So we'll have to see how that actually goes, because right now I'm not thinking we're going to actually see it in July, but we very, very could. Let's see. Going back to our conversation, Granzer says, that he was a vet. Yes, I knew he was in the medical field of some sort. John says veterinary staff would have been vital in a zombie apocalypse. One of their specific job skills is not getting bit.
That's super true.
Yeah. They will save us all, or at least themselves. Yes, absolutely, Jesse. All right. Moving on from the Marvel conversation. Now, tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, and currently at 7:38 Eastern, we will see the new Star Wars offering called The Skeleton Crew. The first 2 episodes will be released tonight on Disney+. There are 8 episodes in total, so we're back to the 8. Okay, so so here's me as a Star Wars fan being critical, not me as a Star Wars fan dumping on a series before I've even had a chance to watch it. I'm frustrated with this method of filming as a whole. I'm very excited for the series. I think it's going to be Goonies in space, and that makes me very, very, very excited. However, now that I've said that, I'm tired of the 8 episode.
Right.
Push. We don't get enough information. We don't get the same feel for the series like we used to. I mean, you look back at series like Next Generation for Star Trek, you'd get 20 to 23 episodes a year. and you had this great, this really great story that's carried out, and there's all these things happening, and there's much more for you to sink your teeth into. We get 8 episodes between 30 and 50 minutes long. There's no set time limit. There's no, and we've talked about this at other times about other series. So I'm not crapping on the Skeleton Crew because I have nothing to base this on. I've seen this much of it other than a trailer or two. The trailers have me very excited. I'm okay. Let's see. We'll get to a lot of these questions here in just a second. I want a 20 episode season again. Absolutely, John. I want a 20 episode season. I miss the days of that.
Well, this is awkward.
Oh, hi. How's it going?
You totally just froze for a second there. That was weird.
Hi, I'm here. I'm back. But yeah, so I just want my old TV style back. Yes, Tim froze. Tim absolutely froze. All right, let's go back and let's look at some of these comments that have been coming in. John says at Crusher Convo, the med room in a vet clinic has everything to a human clinic has, but with better tranquilizers. Let's see, is Trek going to be on the Convo tonight? LOL, had to ask. It's coming in just because of how it's tied into what I want to see in our modern media. We had these multiple seasons. We had 20 to 20 episodes, 23 to 20, sometimes 25 episodes a season. I miss that. I miss having these great storylines that could carry through episode to episode with consistent run times. And of course, now they were working in a different medium and they had commercials to work with and all those type of things. But yeah, let's see. Skeleton Crew, is that a puppet or a person in the costume? I do believe it's a costume with some mechanical eyes and electromechanical eyes and things like that. Do it, Tim. Tim is doing too much. I'm not gonna, like I said, I don't want to bash anything just because that's not my style. We try to be aggressively positive in everything that we do, and I have nothing to be critical of the show about other than the fact that I know it's 8 episodes long. That's my only critical take on this show so far. Other than that, I've written articles about why I'm excited about the show for couchsoup.com. If you want to read what I write, there's a link down below. I've written a bunch of articles, Star Wars, non-Star Wars related. You can catch my reading there for couchsoup.com. But yeah, I'm very excited about Skeleton Crew. I think it has amazing potential on everything that I've seen. Let's see. All I keep hearing about Skeleton Crew. Oh, here we go again. Another woke series.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of that. And nothing against you, Grant. I don't know where you stand on this, and I'm not poking the bear by any means or aspect of this. Here's my take on this. Star Wars has always been woke. Star Wars will always be woke. Star Wars has always been about the underprivileged and the underrepresented fighting against the larger power. Rebellion. Anyway, and if you go back and you watch Star Wars has always had a political leaning to it. If you didn't catch on to that, that's more of a you problem than a me problem. So, but yeah, I don't care if it's a woke series. I just need it to be a good series. Because if it's woke, that means it's holding on to what George Lucas originally wrote and what he was originally going for. So,
right.
So yeah, that's my take on that. Crusher says, I want long seasons and only a few months apart, not a year or 2 years or absolutely. This delay between Andor and Andor season 2. Now, some of that is strike related. I totally get that. So I'm not blaming the strike. I respect why they did the strike, and but yeah. John Wass says Lower Decks has been awesome this season. It has been. It's been very entertaining, and it will continue to be entertaining, even though this is the last season. We'll have more fun to see. Kathleen is in charge. Run. I take it that has to do with
40 seconds. It was terrifying.
pretty sure that had to do with when I froze on screen. Let's see. Crusher Combo says, I'm sad to see Lower Decks go. All of us are. Honestly, I wrote an article for another website called Star Trek Family, and talking about the shows that got me interested in Star Trek. Lower Decks was definitely one of them, and how important that show was to my journey of accepting Trek, being a former Star Wars only type of guy. Let's see. I see the character that looks like a Muppet, maybe Farscape type, possibly. Silly filler episodes are the best part of a series with high episode counts. Little Green Men was an episode, DS9 episode. I agree. I think that's what we need more of. We need those type of episodes. Those type of episodes are what help us, have a little fun in the fandom. Not everything has to be world-changing, colossal, mammoth, awesome. Sometimes you can just have the fun episodes. Preach, Tim. I try to. I just, I don't want to ever be that guy who sends her up on his pulpit and telling you all the things that you think you already know, without any factor basis to them. I want to be enjoyable, but I also want to point out that there are some facts to things that people are overlooking, like, politics and religion in Star Wars. Those have always been part of it. I stand with you and Kathleen. I have not seen the new series. I was shocked when all the fan fighting. Yeah, the fan fighting has honestly gotten so much worse over the last few years. It's called the fandom menace for a very viable reason. Actually, any episode of the DS9 that focused on Quark and Ron was peak television.
Yeah, that's super true.
And Crusher Combo says, cough. Check out my reviews on Lower Decks. Cough. Yes, please do. Go check out. We've said this a couple times already in the show. We can't say it enough. We love Crusher Combo. Jesse does a great job of reviewing Star Trek in an amazing way. And like I said, she takes some deep dives, but she's not going to leave you behind. So please go check out Crusher Combo. The 42nd did give me a chance to ask Kathleen about her Sliders fandom. Just kidding. Crusher Convo reviews Lower Decks. I had no idea. Wink, wink. I know. Shocker. We are all shocked and slightly less than amused that you would so blazingly dare to review Lower Decks. No, actually, I'm thrilled with your reviews. They've done wonderful job, Jesse.
Shameless self-promotion.
That's absolutely right. And we'll help with the shameless self-promotion. We'll jump in there for her as well. But yeah, so in about an hour and 12 minutes, my phone will be on Do Not Disturb because I will be watching all this here show.
Will it be on Do Not Disturb, or will you be like manic squeal texting my husband?
Also, yes.
Do Not Disturb for everybody else.
And then also, guys, we'll have Skeleton Crew reviews coming this Thursday. John and I will be doing a live show Thursday at 5 p.m. I think that's what we agreed on. Right, John? Thursday, 5 p.m.? Because I want to say Thursday, 5 p.m. I could be wrong.
On Thursday.
Yeah, I think we did. He'll be texting me about it. This is the way. Crusher Convo bows. And yes, please take a bow, Jesse. I feel about Jesse and Crusher Convo the way I do about Sam and Anna for Growing Up Skywalker. Just really, really good stuff, solid stuff, and makes you feel pretty happy about.
They are our pod
about
family.
what they're doing. They are pod family, absolutely. We love them. We support them very strongly. Yes, Thursday at 5 p.m. Okay, cool. I was right. So we'll be reviewing episodes 1 and 2, which air tonight at 9 o'clock. You may actually be able to hear me giggle from a distance because I'm pretty sure it will be that loud because I don't know if you know this. I'm kind of a Star Wars fan, just a little bit.
Star Wars is like his marriage.
I haven't said that in a while.
No, because I keep mocking you about it.
Mostly because I got tired of being mocked for it, but all right. And coming up in April of 2025, we're talking about the 25 releases and what's coming up now with Skeleton Crew tonight, of course. Andor season 2. Yes, please. Andor was some of the finest television that has been released in a long, long time. I know there were some complaints out there about the pace of the story, the pace of the everything, and that it wasn't a Star Wars show because there were no Jedi and there were no lightsabers. And I'm like, that's what made it so freaking good, is that there were no Jedi, there were no lightsabers. They got to focus in on a story. It was so good. Jesse says Tim is a Star Wars fan, is like me as a Beverly Crushers fan. I think that's pretty accurate comparison. And Andor, okay, this I am excited about. Yeah, I am excited about this. Very, very excited about this. I read something the other day that originally, I think pre-strike, they had it set to be a multiple season thing, possibly 4 to 5 seasons long, and then they were going to tie up into Rogue One. But after the strike, they went to just 2 seasons. Now, I don't know if this was something that was always going to be 2 seasons, and other people said it was going to be, going to be 5 seasons, because that also happened with Arcane. Arcane was always scheduled to be 2 seasons, and then people got it out there that it was going to be 5 seasons. So release date for Andor season 2, April 2025. I want to say it's like April 14th. I want to say, I'm not positive on that, but I do know that it's in April, and I do know it's 2025. So but yeah. All right, what were you chuckling about there, Kathleen?
The cat fight happening in front of my door, and then the thunk.
Gotcha. Okay.
April 22nd.
April 22nd? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
To scare Kathleen, only 5 months away.
Stop it.
Next year, 5 months away.
Stop it.
So there's a lot of really cool stuff coming up for 2025 between both Star Wars and Marvel. Do we know how many episodes the viewers will get with Andor? I'm guessing it's going to be similar to the first season. The first season, I think, was only 8 as well. So I would imagine it would be very similar. I would have guessed somewhere between 8 and 10. I haven't seen anything where they have released an episode list yet. Typically on IMDb, we will see a list of episodes, even if they're not named. We'll see how many episodes and the length of the episodes. We'll see that count on there, but I have not seen that on IMDb as of yet. It doesn't mean that it's not out there somewhere. I just haven't seen it on IMDb. John says 8 months and 1 day until 33, Kathleen.
Shut up.
How dare you call her out like that, John?
I could do the math for 46, but I'm not going to.
No, that was 2 years ago for me.
IMDb currently has 12 episodes for season 2.
12 episodes? All
12.
right, then. Okay, well, that's new because that was not on there a day or two ago when I looked last. So, all right. John says 3 months, 18 days till,
See?
He's old.
I don't have to do the math. They'll do it for me.
So, Jesse turns 40 next year. Look at us all old people, except for the baby face over there.
It's not my fault. My parents' fault.
What, Nolan?
You get to feel really old in 5 months.
Why do I get to feel really old in 5 months?
What happens on April 14th, Dad?
You turn 23?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm having a conversation with my son in the background of why I'm going to be crying in 5 months. All right.
I mean, come on. Your baby turns 18 in like 3 weeks.
19 days, to be exact. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up, Kathleen. So, and she's screaming from the background, 19 days!
Oh, no, we could hear her.
You do sound like that. Anyway.
I love you, Kendall.
She said, Kendall, she loves you. She thinks you're okay.
Rude.
No, she said she loves you too. So, all right. So, let's start. Yeah, my baby girl will be 17 next year, and you're not ready for her to turn 17. You're definitely not ready for her to turn 18. Just ask me how I know. All right, let's start wrapping this up. Yes, I'm living it. I'm living it. It's my life. Let's see. So this past Wednesday, we released an interview with award-winning author Alex Segura. Now, Alex is a really cool dude. He's written all over the fandoms. He writes for Star Wars. He writes for Marvel. He writes Dick Tracy stuff. But he's also has his own books and his own stories and all these other things. So we talked with him about the differences between writing for an established universe like Star Wars and established characters like Han and Leia and Luke and all those different type of things, and talked about the Battle of Jakku and stuff like that, and Spider-Man and the Secret Spider Society, which was, it's a really cool take on things, versus writing his own book, Alter Ego, which is a whole story, and he's got some pretty cool stuff going on there. But that interview right now is available on all of your favorite podcast providers, not to mention we got this little YouTube channel. I don't know if you've heard of it. You might want to check it out. But if you haven't,
you want to watch beautiful faces instead of just listening to us.
So let's see. And then we want to remind you that this upcoming Wednesday, Danny Diet will be our guest. Now, she was Gigi on Falcon and the Winter Soldier. She's had a role on Dark Matter, Ozark, a whole bunch of stuff. Now, one of the coolest things for me is that we always love to highlight Michigan people, and she's from Kalamazoo, Michigan. She's a former law enforcement officer, and she talks about her transition from becoming a police officer to becoming an actor and all the things and how that happened. And it's kind of a wild story how she just one day she's like, yeah, I think I'm going to do this other thing. And just kind of went for it. And then next thing you know, she's on Falcon and the Winter Soldier as Gigi with a recurring role. And I think she was in 6 of the 9 episodes. And, so excuse me. Let's see. She's Granzer says, I've never seen Dark Matter nor Ozark. This is on a streaming service. Yes. Dark Matter is on Apple TV Plus, and Ozark, I believe, is on Netflix. Hubby says if Andor is 12 seasons instead of 8, they might be shorter episodes. Way to bring the rune down, Hubs. He might be right. I'm hoping that they're at least going to be 40-minute episodes, because that will at least make sense. Give a decent storyline, something to appreciate, something to enjoy. All right. And I think that is it for all of those information. Let's see. Granzer also says, Kathleen and Tim, is there a sci-fi TV show that you are currently rewatching or maybe watching for the first time to fill the block until Andor Series 2 in April? So for me personally, I am getting ready to restart my Star Wars watch. So I'm hoping to be up to Andor season 2 by the time Andor season 2 airs in the month of April. So that's what I'll be doing for getting ready for that. But I've also been trying to squeeze in some episodes of Star Trek, because I'm kind of stuck in a mire of Star Trek The Next Generation season 2, which I know is Jesse's favorite season of Star Trek The Next Generation. She absolutely loves it because it doesn't have Crusher. She thinks it makes it that much better.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Both your thoughts on Dark Matter and the Ozark. Do you like the series? I've only watched a couple episodes of Ozark. I have actually never watched Dark Matter, but it has actors and actresses in it that I like, and I want to watch it because it looks like a pretty cool series. So based on the outside looking in, I want to watch both of them because I love Jason Bateman. Just pretty much anything Jason Bateman does, I'm ready to watch. And Dark Matter has Josh Edgerton, who is Uncle Owen in the Obi-Wan series.
Oh, okay.
He's in Dark Matter, and also I believe Jennifer Connelly, which Jennifer Connelly.
Right. So
anyway,
Kathleen is currently not in a sci-fi watch. I mean, well, I guess sort of in a comfort zone sci-fi rewatch of watching Buffy again. But it is also Outlander season. So that's where Kathleen's emotional abuse has been coming lately.
That just released, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, the first 2 episodes. Because it is weekly, 1 episode, and that is it.
Yeah. I knew that. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And it is torturous.
Yes, that Jennifer Connelly. Yes, very much so. Tim needs to go back and watch Star Trek. I am watching Star Trek. Like I said, just stuck in the mire of your favorite season 2, for which you respond blasphemy.
You know, it's hard though. Like I get that way too with shows that I get to a certain point where I'm like, okay, I can't watch these characters anymore, or I can't watch these faces anymore, and then I'll switch to a different show, and then I get distracted, and then by the time I'm ready to go back to the other show, I've forgotten what had happened.
John's emotional abuse is from Kathleen telling him about Outlander.
I need somebody to watch it with me and message me, because all of my normal people who watch Outlander with me aren't watching it.
Honestly, that's another series I want to. I have this whole library list of shows and things that I want to watch. My watch list is huge.
To be watched is longer than Kendall's TBR. So.
Oh, it is. It's huge. The problem is finding time now for them.
See, and that's
work schedule has changed for me, so it's much more difficult to have the time that I used to have.
That's the big thing for me too. Is so I have this 6-year-old glued to my hip from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. Every day.
This is true. Yeah, that's about the right age for that. Someone posted Space Above and Beyond on YouTube. I'll try to watch it, see if it aged well. I watched a few episodes when it first ran. It was okay.
Like last week's episode, I watched at 1 o'clock in the morning because it was I'm awake and nobody else is, and I can watch it uninterrupted.
Hey, Grands, 12. Gates McFadden, who plays Beverly, worked on Labyrinth as the director of choreography and puppet movement. This is true. Yes, very true. Granzier also says, I am waiting for Tim and Kathleen to take a hard left and watch either Blake 7 or The Invaders, or maybe even Babylon 5. That one, the last one, actually has possibility of happening because, let's see, Crusher Cool. Oh, cool. I did not know. Love that movie. Fantastic. Because as John says, Babylon 5 is on Prime Video now. That just started a couple days ago. So if anybody wants to get their Babylon 5 on, you can get your Babylon 5 on Prime Video if you're a Prime Video subscriber. So all episodes are up on Prime and ready to watch. And then, of course, if you want to watch our interview with Patricia Tallman, who played Lita, I'm just saying, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying, we've got some pretty cool interviews in that respect as well. So
we have that we're still not talking about, but we're going to talk about not talking about them.
Yeah, we got some pretty cool ones coming up. I'm very excited. We've got possibility of some. I'm working on dates with some people. So, have never seen Babylon 5. I honestly have myself either. That is one of the ones that, got Star Trek sued. So, because, the whole theft of the storyline and everything. And Patricia Tallman talks about that whole lawsuit and everything else in the interview. And so, yeah, because I was such a rookie at that point with the whole Star Trek storyline. I did not realize that Babylon 5 was originally offered to Paramount, and then they kind of stole it and did their own thing with it. And then there was a lawsuit, and there was all these things, and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, Patricia Tallman goes into that because she worked on both Star Trek and Babylon 5 and talked about going back and forth with them. It is now 56 minutes to Skeleton Crew, so very much looking forward to that. And Grandier says, love your interviews. So good. Tonight. Yeah, you're not going to bed at a normal time. And by the way, Grandier, you gave a very nice review on our interview the other day, and I just want to say thank you. So very much appreciated that you are enjoying our stuff, enjoying our interviews, enjoying our shows. Means the world to us. So from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure Kathleen feels the same way. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Kathleen's just distracted by the fact that she almost pulled her shawl apart.
Kathleen gets distracted easy. Just go with it.
I have 88. I have 80 of them.
Let's see. I was told to watch Stargate as well, but Trek is so good. Okay, honestly, please watch Stargate. Start with a movie. Go into the show. Once you get used to the idea that Richard Dean Anderson can play the other role, the role of the guy that Kurt Russell played in the movie, the whole series becomes so much better. Plus, Richard Dean Anderson is just top shelf with sarcasm. So much better at it than Kurt Russell was, and it's very good.
And then go back and watch some of our reviews and our watch throughs of Stargate and encourage us to do that again.
We need to get back on that. For a while, we were doing Stargate reviews on our Patreon channel, and this whole thing called Life happened. And stupid, dumb, stupid life happened. And we
people having surgeries and getting jobs and bleh.
Children and their issues and their things and wives and spouses and oh my, it was like lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. So anyway, we had to kind of reroute some things, but we're hoping to get back at that at some point.
Sorry, you say lions, tigers, and bears, and then I just get sad that I haven't seen Wicked yet. Because again,
Granzer also says, yes, I'm going to sue Paramount too for punitive damages to my mental health that the studio gave me. Okay, so Black Flag, the Assassin's Creed game? Is that what you're playing? Oh, that's a good game. That's good times.
No whale hunting with a kid in the room.
Grazer says, I am the super minority. I didn't like the TV series all, Stargate, SG-1, and the others that followed. I so wanted to love it. Now, I haven't watched anything but SG-1. I've watched only about 10 episodes of SG-1 because that's our original plan was to watch the movie and then watch the episodes all in succession. And we were going to go from there. Well, we got to episode 9 or 10, wherever we were in the viewing, and that's where we had to shut things down. But I think that, and I will speak for me alone, I was getting to the point where I was just starting to enjoy the series.
I was too.
And I was really beginning to enjoy Richard Dean Anderson's character and how he was portraying, things. And just, I like Richard Dean Anderson. I like the sarcasm.
We had a cast change in the show as well, in our show.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of moving plates at that point.
Changing crew members over here, and
we had change of crew members, which meant that we had change in responsibilities of who was doing what behind the scenes. We had
balancing Michigan time zone and Alaska time zone is hard enough.
All this life kept happening around us. So, but yeah, as Jesse says from Crusher Combo, ugh, life, absolutely.
And it is one of those moments where, like, I feel like you can still quote Ian Malcolm with the life finds a way, but it's more of the life finds a way.
It's definitely more of a frustrated than anything. We need you to review Wicked next week, John. I don't see that happening, but you might
actually enjoy it, Tim. You might.
Yeah. More than 8 episodes to get good. See, shows do need that. Absolutely. Granzier says, I had an ex-roommate who had the whole box set of Stargate SG-1 in 2018. I watched it again with him, but I seen it partially first run and then watched. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's worth it.
Honestly, the only reason I agreed to watching it with Tim and our previous crew member at that point was I was promised there would be Jason Momoa. And I didn't get to Jason Momoa.
Now, there is one episode in that first 10 that is absolutely horribly craptastic. And I think out of anything that we've ever reviewed before on this show, I think that's the only thing that we have ever collectively crapped on. Where we're like, this is the worst thing. This is horrible. Dear God, why did they put this out there?
Yeah.
But yeah. I think it's like episode 4 or 5. And
it was an episode of Armin Shimmerman, so we were okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was redeemed by Armin. Exactly. But you will absolutely positively know when you see it. It does not hide well. And yeah, next week, Monday night at 7 p.m., we will be doing our Star Wars RPG. And so, yeah, you'll have an opportunity to check that out. and see if John and Kathleen's anniversary is going to go well. So we encourage you guys to check that out.
We should be fine. He's done enough redeemable things that I won't hate him yet.
Tim sings when he's seen Wicked. No. We all know that Ariana Grande is Tim's favorite singer. Actually, I don't mind her, John, if we're being perfectly honest. She's an extremely talented singer. She just doesn't sing, 90s grunge. So I don't know what to tell you.
See, I feel like too that from what I've seen from the music videos and from the sneak peeks and stuff, there is enough like perfectly timed humor, and Ariana Grande is kind of fantastic with her humor that I feel like if Shayna makes you go see it, you'll probably enjoy it.
Okay, so is it like Schmigadoon humor? Because I liked Schmigadoon.
Yes and no. It's
yes and no.
Okay. Not as dirty. Because it is
not watching it. No, I'm done.
High school, but it's Mean Girls humor.
Oh, okay. I can get down with that. So on Wednesdays we wear pink? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Unless, of course, you go to the good and then you wear pink every day.
Right. Because it's fetch. So, just saying.
Stop trying to make fetch a thing.
John said,
No,
probably not.
Kathleen will never, ever, ever say anybody should read that book.
I'm kind of curious now. Grandeur says, the series that I'm wrapping up, well, not sci-fi, the fantasy lore, the Highlander TV series. There can only be one until the next episode. All right, yeah, we're going to wrap up here as well. Crusher Convo. She says Kitty Beverly is hungry and meowing her heart out, so I have to go. This was fun. See you on the socials. Absolutely. And just as one quick reminder, please make plans to go watch Trek Talks on January 25th, or January 18th of 2025, January 18th of 2025. Both Crusher Convo Podcast and ourselves, the FSF PopCast, as Trek Talks ambassadors, will be talking more about this in the coming weeks, and you'll be able to see more about that. So please go check it out at trektalks.net. Kranzier says, I have not found anyone who's a big fan of Earth Final Conflict. I'm actually part of an Earth Final Conflict group because we had Lisa Ryder on the show, who was part of Andromeda and also did a couple episodes of Earth Final Conflict. But that's a whole nother story, but we can talk about that later. Thank you for the chat. It is fun. Yeah, we have fun with you guys every week. And thank you, Granzer, for coming on and having fun.
I'm just over here playing with this amazing wrap because, oh my gosh. I don't know, I don't feel like you can tell how soft it is just by looking at it.
No, you can't, but I'm assuming that as much as you've had it draped around your face and you keep rubbing it on your cheeks, it must be very soft. But.
It's like a kitty cat.
It's like a kid, eh? And then again, please go down and check out our new show partner, Bones Coffee. Use the code FSF PopCast when you check out. You'll get 10% off on your order. And they got some really great coffee flavors out there. And it should be a lot of fun. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Kathleen, any parting thoughts?
I'm going to go pretend that I'm a dwarf and try to escape from the mines of Moria.
Sounds like a solid plan. And on that note, we hope that you guys will have the Force continue to be with you as you live long and prosper.
And dig your diggy holes.
That too. What she said.
Bye.
Copyright 2024 FSF PopCast. Reference any specific product or entity mentioned on this podcast does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by FSF PopCast. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. If you have any questions about this disclaimer, please contact us via email at info@fsfpopcast.com.